Right. Looks like I've got a notification, and I know it takes it a little bit long here. So there we go. 17 seconds in, it says. I don't know how that happens, but welcome to our show, everyone, to the most famous show that we have on Unwrapped Sports Network. Facts checked by only Michael Lawson, which is myself. Welcome to Count the Bucket. Nick, how's your day been? And of course, Ethan, we'll get to you as far as welcome you to the show. Nick, how's it been going on?
It's been going great, man, I must say. Basketball season's approaching. Obviously, this Tuesday is coming, and then college is coming soon as well. You know, I'm getting excited, watching like all these college kids go, or like at least like the team going like, white, blue, or, white, black, or whatever. So, I mean, it's always pretty cool just, watching everybody get prepared. But I must say I'm really excited about your Wildcats. I must say I'm very excited. I think they're gonna have a much better year than they did last year, because last year was a little disappointment, I must say.
Absolutely. And actually, to kick off the season, what we have at Kentucky is a Big Blue Madness, and I attended yesterday. It was awesome. Got some great free stuff that lights up, and kids love that. Myself as well. Got a great poster, and that's one thing Calipari actually mentioned. Is like as soon as he came up to do his little speech, he was like, "I have missed you all so much," and I'm like, "Yeah, it shows." He said, "You don't realize the difference that you as fans play for us here in Rupp Arena." He said it is an advantage that no other school gets, and it showed last year. I was kind of hating on him a little bit. The season last year stunk. Boston, my opinion, he was a underachiever last year. Wish he would have stayed back one more year and actually developed a little bit more.
I agree. I definitely agree with that.
Raw talent that you can tell he's going to be good. But I just think he needed to blossom just a little bit more. But Ethan, welcome to the show. Welcome as our special guest here. Go ahead and introduce your show or yourself and talk about your shows, what all you got going on, and the many articles that you've written.
I'm Ethan Carboni. Follow me on Twitter at Ethan_Carboni. Check out Creating Madness at ATR Madness on Twitter and at _Creating Madness on Instagram. A lot of college basketball stuff that goes on year-round. I've done interviews with some of the best coaches and players, including the number 27 player in the nation now after the most recent 247 rankings.
Nice.
Malik Renew, Florida commit. Go check that out. It's from a while ago, as well as Georgia Tech's head basketball coach Joshua Pastner.
I'm just super excited that Kentucky beat Florida this year. Didn't happen so much to the Georgia game, but here's how bad fans are here in Kentucky. I don't know about you guys. I'll just throw this out and we'll get into basketball. We lost to Georgia, the number one team in the nation. Yes, we're ranked 11th, but we still had people on like Facebook or social media be like, "Oh my goodness, this team was awful. That coaching style was horrible. Can't believe they called this play." They are the number one team, guys. Did we really think we were supposed to win?
Complaining like y'all are not 1-5 like my nose. Like I don't understand the complaining.
No, Nick,
I am so sorry.
Nick, don't complain. Nick, don't complain. At least you've been able to see your team have success in your lifetime. Illinois football over here.
Wait, they have a football team?
Illinois. I support all Illinois sports. I don't jump around. I'll have like second, third favorite, but like I'm diehard Illinois.
And respect with that, because I'm a Kentucky fan. It doesn't matter what it is. I love volleyball. I love cheerleading. 24 times national champions are our cheerleaders. I don't know how that goes. We actually have won back-to-back, I think, first place NCAA in archery or riflery. I'm sorry, it's riflery. So, like, UK sports, we're the bomb, And football, I can finally cheer about this. We are 6-1. We just played a meaningful game in mid-October, and it was football. I'm happy. I am happy. That doesn't happen for us a lot. But with the Illinois, I don't know. Kentucky, 2018, I think we had a 10-win season. Since then, put it to you this way, Ethan. You're talking about your lifetime. Beating Florida.
2007, we won the Big Ten. We beat Ohio State at home.
I think beating Florida, or maybe it was LSU at home, one of the two of the big games, I want to say it's Florida, was the first time we beat that team since I was born. Like, the year I was born is the last time we beat that team at home. And that was 1986. So let that sink in. Go Big Blue. All right.
So 2017, Francois gets hurt against Alabama, and then after that, it just kind of went downhill from there. We lose Jimbo, of course. We have Taggart, and then that didn't work out, and we're still struggling, and we're probably gonna be struggling for a little minute.
Wait, Nick, how are you a Florida State football but Syracuse basketball fan?
It's confusing. I know it's confusing.
And Golden State in NBA.
Look, okay, so Syracuse, so I became a Syracuse fan in 2014 because I love that team, CJ Fair, Tyler Ennis, and the rest of those guys. So that's how I became a fan of there. And then Golden State, I've actually been a fan of Golden State since 2011 when we had Monte Ellis. So that's why for like a little while whenever we had KD, I had to like sit back because everybody was like, "Oh, you're a bandwagon." I'm like, "No, I've really been a fan since like the beginning." But it was like you couldn't be like
you can't cheer for that,
Exactly. So now it's okay, like it's because the Warriors haven't been that good recently. So now I'm able to really come back and really represent my team the way I want to.
I understand. I respect.
So I get it. I'm all over the map. I'm in Florida. I'm in New York. Then I'm in Cali. But hey, it is what it is.
Well, if you live in Kentucky like myself, all we have is college sports. It's either Louisville or Kentucky, and I won't ever say that L word again. I apologize for this whole show. So, like, our closest team as far as professional would be probably as far as NBA would be Charlotte, I think, which is probably my second favorite team, actually. I love the colors. That's such a pretty blue. Let's be honest with you. That's awesome.
It is. Nice turquoise.
Yes. And then maybe I would say Indianapolis. From where I live at. So
that might be a lot closer, honestly.
No, I actually Googled it the other day. It's like, man,
it's not? Okay.
Yeah, it's like 4.5 hours to Charlotte from here, where I live in Kentucky.
Okay.
Like, I am the most bottom southeast part of Kentucky, right where Virginia, Kentucky, and Tennessee all meet. But, yeah, it's either that, like, football, it's Cincinnati Reds and Bengals. Obviously, I said the Reds because that's my favorite baseball team, as you can see behind me. But the Bengals, and you can't cheer for the Bengals. So I'm a Cowboys fan. Born in '86, grew up in the '90s there. So Emmitt Smith, Troy Aikman, Michael Irving, they were the best team. Gotta like them. All right. So with all that being said, let's go ahead and drop this real quick if you don't care. Guys, we couldn't do our show without our sponsors. Thank you, everyone that sponsors us. Here's one real quick. Go to mybookie.ag and use that promo code USN100. We will double your first deposit, not your second, just your first. Ethan is feeling friendly today. If you go and use that promo code USN100 and you deposit your first time $1,000, Ethan's going to give you $1,000 in your account as well. And as you guys know, if you're watching us on YouTube, just before we went live, Bets Unwrapped just got off, and they will give you a bunch of great content that you can go with as far as your NFL draft. So go check them out as well, and go to mybookie.ag, promo code USN100. Now, I know I said before we get started, I want to go ahead and say this. Guys, there's a chance that my children may run into this room right now. My wife is traveling right now. It's 10:30 at night, or almost 11 o'clock now here. Those kids, I have 3, actually just had a birthday, sorry. So I have 2 5-year-olds and a 4-year-old. They wake up sometimes, so my door's cracked. If you hear screaming, no one's dead. It's a child just running in here looking for mommy, and they have me. So bear with me. All right.
Looking for mommy.
Yeah, it's what it is. So last week, if you guys joined in, we covered our Eastern Conference rankings. Now, this week, we will be going with our Western Conference, and Ethan is joining us for this. We're going to go from 15 down to 1. We'll switch back and forth. I'm going to do my first 15 to 11. Then, Nick, you can do yours, Ethan, yours, and then we can complain about who did worse, okay? Sound good?
Yep.
Sounds good.
At number 15, as I'm checking my phone because I got a message here from Mark, won't have power back, so until 12:30 a.m. Mark was actually going to join on here. I don't know if you all have caught his shows before, but he used to be with For Love of the Game with Steve, and now he's focusing on a Celtics-only podcast. So he's going to recap with the Eastern a little bit so he could fuss at us a little bit on where we got him ranked, but now we got it perfect. So, all right, so starting at number 15 in the Western Conference, I've got the Houston Rockets. 14, I have the Timberwolves. 13, I've got the Kings. 12, I have the Pelicans. And at 11, I have Thunder. Nicholas, hear yours.
All right, so for 15, I got the Minnesota Timberwolves because they're just not that good. I'm just going to be honest. I mean, I get it. Karl Anthony Towns is there, Anthony Edwards. D'Angelo Russell, but overall the rest of the roster is just really not that great, if we're going to be honest.
Agreed.
Number 14, I have OKC, even though I am expecting for Shai Gilgeous-Alexander to take a big leap. I like the drafting of Josh Giddey. And, I like a few of the other guys there as well, Poku as well. But I think they're still a very young team and they're just not there yet. 13, I have the Rockets. I like them a lot. Honestly, they might be able to squeeze a play-in game. I don't know, but we'll just have to see how the season rolls out. Obviously Jalen Green's there, Kevin Porter Jr., Christian Wood. So we'll see. Number 12, I have the Spurs. I do like the Spurs as a young core, but I don't think they're there yet. Just kind of like what I said about OKC, they're just not there yet as a young team on the rise. And then for 14, 13, 12, for 11, I have the Pelicans. For the I have the Pelicans there. I think losing Lonzo is a big loss in my opinion, and I feel like they're gonna really pay for it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well, enjoy here in Chicago.
Oh yeah. All right, Ethan, let's hear your top or your bottom 15.
All right, my bottom 5, 15. I'm gonna go. I actually have the same bottom 3 as you, Michael. The Rockets, then the Timberwolves, then the Kings, but I think I might flip. I forget what you said, but then I'm probably gonna go the Thunder, and then I think I'll go the Pelicans for 11.
Okay. Kings, Thunder, and I wrote this stuff down, guys. I'm 35 years old. I know, but
I wouldn't have remembered. I'm just going off of memory right here.
Right, that's fine. And honestly, I wanted to rank the Kings higher, but then I got kind of stuck right there thinking of the Pelicans, and I'm going to buy into the Thunder this year. I think they've settled in a little bit. They've got some good guys, I think, and I just kind of want to see them do better, I guess. And I couldn't put the Kings ahead of Pelicans, even though Zion's going to be out a while. So the luck of the draw kind of dropped them there for me in my bracket as I was filling it out. And I went through 1 to 15. And that probably would have been different if I started 15 and went down. I actually debated on putting the Wolves the last place, but I was like, I feel like the growth is going to be there for Ant this year. And the Rockets, I feel like, are still at a pace where they're just still kind of blowing stuff up. But I really think they have an exciting team this year. So I could actually see the Rockets coming up 13 up there. But this is what it is. So, Nick, let's hear you start with your 10 now. 10
Number 10, since we're talking about guys out west or out in that Cali area, I'm going to go with the Kings at number 10. I feel like they will be in that play-in tournament. I think De'Aaron Fox is going to have an all-star caliber year. I think Buddy Hield is going to have a really good year. I love the drafting of Davion Mitchell, not to mention they still got guys like Rashawn Holmes and the rest of those guys as well. So I think the only thing that could possibly keep Sacramento from actually getting into the play-in tournament is Luke Walton. I feel like he needs to be replaced soon. But even if they don't, I still feel like Sacramento is still a pretty good team. Number 9.
Like in Golden State, I would think you'd be a Walton fan.
Honestly, he was great. He was great at Golden State. I will admit he was definitely great. But here, it's just not working out. Sacramento. I don't know what it is. I have no idea what it is. But I do agree with you. He was great at Golden State. In those, and I think it was like 30, 40 games that Steve Kerr was out. So yeah, he definitely did his thing. For number 9, I have the Blazers just because I don't really know what to really expect out of them. They're honestly just they're honestly just going to be one of those teams that we're just going to have to really see what they're made of. So just because they have Damian Lillard and CJ McCollum, they're in the play-in tournament automatically. Mm-hmm. Number 8, I have the Grizzlies. I think they're going to get that 8 seed once again. John Morant's going to have another solid year. Jaren Jackson Jr., in my opinion, is going to take a big leap this year. So expect those two to definitely lead the way, and we'll see how they do. And for number 7, I have Dallas just because, honestly, besides the Frank Ntilikina signing, I don't really think they really got that much better. So, but then again, they still have Luka Doncic, so, and also we need to see what we can get from Porzingis this year. Hopefully he has a better season. He's the X factor of that team. Definitely. And number 6, I have Golden State Warriors, my team. Only reason why they are 6. In my opinion, I expect Steph to be top 3 in scoring once again. MVP. But the question still is, when is Klay coming back? Is Klay going to be back possibly by January or so? We'll have to see.
I like that, and I'll leave it at that for right now. Ethan, let's go ahead and hear yours.
All right, before I get into that, I kind of want to talk about going back to the Rockets and Jalen Green, because this is the first year after G League Ignite and all that. And then soon we're having the overtime elite come in, so it's going to be interesting to see how the G League Ignite players play out. Is if they end up flopping completely and none of them like have any impact as rookies, that's not going to pose well for the G League, especially with the NIL stuff.
But let me say this though. Like in my opinion, I feel like they're gonna benefit the most, like Jalen Green, Kuminga, Dyson Nix, just because they already have that professional experience already in the G League. So I'm not saying that they're not gonna struggle or anything, but I feel like just being able to adjust, I feel like they should be able to adjust easier than the other guys.
I 100% agree with you. It's just a matter of what will happen because this is the predictions right now. We can't see into the future because if we did, you guys would be going on to my bookie and placing your bets.
Listen, I'm about to hit 15 through 1 right here. I don't know what you're talking about. I can't see the future. I got this.
All right.
Ethan just shakes me off. Whatever, dude.
My number 10, Spurs. My number 9, I'll go Trailblazers like Nick did. 8, Grizzlies. 7, I think I'll go 7 Mavericks and then 6 Clippers.
Okay.
Because I'm not sure how long Kawhi's out for.
I want to say he's probably gonna be out for the year. I just don't see him coming back this year, to be honest.
I don't either. Especially being a couple years away from actually being out the whole year then too. I think he's going to be a whole year. Okay, starting with my 10, I have the Spurs at 10. I have the Grizzly at 9. The Blazers at 8, and let me tell you, I had them back farther. I'm like, my goodness, I can't do this to the Blazers. So I moved them up some just for that. Because like you said, they have Dame and CJ. If CJ doesn't break his back this year, it'd be great. Let's see here. Blazers at 8. I've got the Mavs at 7, and then at 6, I've got the Warriors. So honestly, all of ours right there look pretty much identical. So I think of those teams, the one that scares me or the one that could do more, I think, are the Mavericks because we don't know what they're going to do. We know Luka's going to be great because he's great. We don't know what Porzingis is going to do or if they're going to do what I said, trade Porzingis out and get Ben in there and get some defense as well and let Kid kind of train him. So I'm just throwing that out.
Ben for Porzingis is not going to happen.
No. Listen, you don't know this. I'm seeing into the future, guys. I can't believe y'all didn't know I was a psychic here.
But I mean, you never know. Ben is in Philly right now, so he might end up playing for Philly now. I don't know.
Speaking of sockets, I think somebody in our chat said that they were getting a psychologist. I'm going to say I can't remember the word that they said, but someone that's supposed to do the mind stuff. And Ben was open-minded to it, so he's reported now, and who knows how it's going to go. Like,
what in the world?
I think it's interesting. Here's the thing. Put this situation – and here we go already on Ben. We're on the West Coast. We're talking about Ben. I think this same situation going on a different team, it could probably work. Like, okay, you see this, you do whatever. We can get this bond. We can get past this. But it being Philly has already thrown Ben under the bus, and they don't even know who he is anymore. It's not going to work. Just go ahead and trade him. So – let's see here.
I have a question though. So do both of y'all still see? Because here's my thing about Portland though. It's like, Portland, obviously Terry Stotts had to go. They got Chauncey Billups, who was a rookie head coach. But the offseason, like as far as bringing in new guys, like I like they just didn't really do like a good job in my opinion to keep themselves afloat. So that's one of the reasons why I do have them at number 9 is because we get it. Dame is going to be like one of the top scorers in the league. CJ is going to really just follow his lead. But what are the rest of the guys going to bring? So that's why I have them at 9. So do y'all still see them being like a playoff contender, even with like, the unusual circumstances?
Personally, I don't. I actually want to say that they're going to blow this up mid-season. And I wanted to rank them back farther. Like, I think Dame may end up being a Laker by the end of this, but I'm just, again, trying to see the future here. I mean, who else doesn't he have on the Lakers team that was in Space Jams? Yeah. But anyways, I just feel like Portland is either going to try to make a move for Ben. Again, here we go, Ben. Or they're just going to blow this up. I mean, because this thing can't keep being mediocre, right? And I use mediocre pretty loose there. Like, they were top 5, top 6, whatever, top 4 last year or the past 2 years. But they can't get past that hump. Like, they're at their ceiling with this team, I feel. So you either keep grinding it out and we waste Dame's career or you trade him and get some good stuff. So that's where I'm at. I think they need to go ahead and say, We love you, Dame. We're actually going to do this more out of respect for you. Let you go out and try to be a better player on a better team. And we're going to get as many draft picks as we can from you.
But that's also the thing. Like, for some reason, Dame does not want to leave.
No, he doesn't.
I just don't get it. Like, it's frustrating to me because it's like, he's so great. And I feel like the reason why, because here's the thing, like, honestly, like, Dame has gotten his respects now as like a top point guard. But I would say this, like, before the 2019 playoffs against OKC, people will like give you like their top point guards. Dame wouldn't be anywhere on that list because Portland has been average for so long.
Oh, yeah.
And that's my thing. Like, Dame is in year 10 now. So like my thing is like, why would you not want to place yourself in a position where you can actually win? Because here's the thing, I'm sure Dame does not believe that he can win in Portland. No,
there's no way. I mean, and Ethan, let's go ahead and get you in before I go on. What do you think on the Portland situation with Dame and even CJ? Like, I mean, 2 years now, back-to-back seasons, I'm pretty sure he's missed about 40 games.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I think that CJ gets traded before Dame does, but I want to see a CP3 for Dame flip personally. That might just be me because I feel like I want to see more scoring on the Suns because I don't have the Suns in contendership this year. I think last year was a fluke.
Oh my God! Okay.
Listen, I'm crazy. But
wait, I'm sorry. Could you say that again?
I don't think the Suns are a contender this year. I think that they will be a playoff team, but I don't think they're going to realistically contend for an NBA title.
Now, okay. I will say this. I don't expect Phoenix to go back to the finals this year. That's just my opinion, right. But I still see them like at least being like a contender. Because here's the thing: like Devin Booker's going to take that extra step. DeAndre Ayton's going to hopefully take that extra step, and then on top of that, you still have a decent CP3 who can lead the way. Then on top of that, Mikal Bridges, Cam, what the heck is his last name? Cam Johnson.
I'm going to remove myself for just a second because some noise is about to happen here, and I'm going to try to keep it out. I'll be back in like 30 seconds.
All right, definitely. But I can understand where you're coming from as far as like, the Suns being a fluke. Because I mean, I ain't gonna lie, like last year was pretty much a fluke in general. Because I mean, everybody just damn near got injured. So there was a lot of luck that took place last year with like a lot of teams. I mean, even though I don't believe Milwaukee's championship was a fluke because I feel like they definitely won that fair and square. But then again, I mean, there are debates that if Kyrie and James Harden were healthy, that they probably would have lost the series. Who knows? But we'll just have to see what happens with Phoenix this year. I mean, it's like I said. I mean, I don't expect them to make the finals this year, but I feel like considering how they played last year, I'm just hoping that that they could take an extra leap this year.
I mean, I hope they do. I feel like the only way I see Phoenix is if they can. This is going to be an impossible trade, but just trade for Dame. Like CP3, a hell of a lot of picks. Maybe even throw in Cam Johnson. Maybe if Portland's willing to give him up for that, I'm not sure.
Well, my thing is, trying to look at a possible Dame CP3 trade. Like my thing is, could you have a backcourt of Dame and Booker where both of them, they're going to be ball dominant, you know what I'm saying? Because my thing is, Dame is the point guard, so Dame's going to have the ball in his hands all the time. CP3, CP3 can score the ball, but here's the thing, like he's more of a distributor, so that's why him and Devin Booker fit so well. Dame is more of a scoring type point guard. So my thing is, like, will they both be able to coexist together and still be able to get their numbers, with each other, being so ball dominant? So, obviously, if a trade like that did happen, obviously Phoenix will go younger. They'll get the younger point guard, but it's all about, how those two can mesh together.
I feel like just because Dame has such a high talent level, and same with Booker. Booker's young, talented. I feel like they could very well mesh together. But obviously, hypothetical. I want that trade to be made, though.
That's enough bad-mouthing Booker and the Phoenix, so I'm back here finally. Oh, Nick, I can't have you down there. Sorry, Ethan. You're getting dropped. There we go. All right. Well, guys, I'm kind of disappointed in talking to this CP3 and stuff going on here, but you know what? Let's just move on from that, okay? Because, Ethan, I don't know if you know this, but I have a man crush on Booker, okay?
I'm not saying Booker's bad. I was saying that I think him and Lillard would pair well.
He's basically saying that a trade for CP3 and Dame should happen.
I mean, I don't see that happen for Portland.
I don't see it happening, but it would be nice.
I mean, my thing is, I don't know if it can work because here's the thing: Chris Paul can score the ball, but Chris Paul has, at this stage of his career, he's more of a distributor, he's more of a passer. Mm-hmm. So that's why him and Booker are able to fit so well because all you gotta do is just find Booker in the spots and let him go to work. But my thing is Dame. I mean, here's the thing: like obviously Phoenix would give a younger point guard, but Dame is more of a dominant scoring point guard. So my question is, will those two be able to make it work on the floor? Like, obviously one of them will have to make the sacrifice. In my opinion, it will probably have to be Dame, just because I feel like, well, I don't know. I mean, it's kind of tough to be honest, but but I don't know if those two could possibly mesh together. I don't know. It's kind of tough.
That would be tough because it's Booker's team, even now with CP. And if you got Dame, it would still be Booker's team because that team Phoenix is Booker right now. And Dame would take over just a tad bit because he would keep the ball in his hands quite a bit.
Not to mention, you still got to get Ayton his touches as well.
Yep, yeah. So I think totally understand and respect and see what you're coming from. But if I'm Portland, I don't give up Dame for an older point guard unless I'm getting a lot of first-round picks with it. And I just don't see Suns having it and that going that way. If CP3 goes anywhere, he's going to go over to the Lakers. We know that.
Yeah.
So
if it doesn't work with Russ, I guess.
Do we think it's going to go? Well, we'll get to that as we get on through here.
Yeah.
We'll get to that. Also, guys, I ran up and down my stairs right then to take my dog downstairs because my wife just got home, and I know if she came in before he was woken up, he would have barked like crazy. So my knees are hurting running down and back up the stairs. So I need to go to rxhemp.com and use the promo code rxhemp/USN. And what's great about them is they will give me 15% off every purchase that I make. So if you guys are old like me or hit the weight gym, don't know what that is, quite often, and you need some of that extra medical actually, you know what? My shoulder's been killing me too. I really do need to get me some of this. Go to rxhemp.com, use promo code rxhemp-USN and get that 15% off. So now we are to number 5. Now let's just go 2. Yeah, let's just do 2 and then we'll do 3. So let's do 5 and 4.
Okay.
Ethan, you want to go first with your 5 and 4 pick and call it quits?
Yeah, sure. I feel like number 5, I'm going to, like I said, I have the Suns a bit lower. So Suns at 5. And then probably
it was
after
Suns
that,
in 4, just so you know. Suns in 4.
That's what happened last year, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then after that, I'm going to go with Knicks Golden State.
Golden State? Okay.
I ain't mad at it. I'm not mad at it.
Of course not. I mean, Warriors way up there. Who do we have that I'll miss it on this? I guess it was the Suns. All right, Nick, I guess I'm actually next in line. Number 5, I have the Clippers. And then at number 4, I have the Utah Jazz.
I got the exact same thing.
Are you serious?
I got the exact same thing. My thing is, if we want to talk about flukes, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, we're not expecting Utah to have the best record in the league. I just don't feel like that's going to happen just because, the roster's pretty good. Quinn Snyder's a great coach. But the thing I've been preaching this entire time, they need another elite scorer next to Donovan Mitchell, and they don't necessarily have that. I get it. Rudy Gobert is an all-star, but he's more of a decent defensive presence. You're not looking at him for offense. He's not a post player. He's not none of that. So, and I get it. Jordan Clarkson, who was the 6th man of the year, who won 6th man of the year, I understand the energy that he can bring off the bench, but I feel like just having a guy having like another all-star caliber wing who can be able to get there, I feel like that's what they need. Hey, maybe a Dame Donovan Mitchell pairing could work. Who knows?
Now,
hey, Michael?
Yeah.
Can you do me a favor and just make sure I did not repeat any teams there because I feel like I might have.
Rockets, Wolves, Kings, Thunder, Pelicans, Spurs, Blazers, Grizzlies, Mavs, Clippers, Suns, and Warriors. No.
All right, perfect. Thank you.
You're welcome. You're welcome. The only thing, and I would like a Dame and Mitchell pair, but it would be the same thing in Portland, I do think Dame is better than CJ, or not Dame better than CJ, but
Donovan.
Yeah, better than CJ. but it's the same style. It's almost kind of mimics the Kyrie or
But my
Lowry
thing is,
and DeRozan.
like, obviously this is hypothetical, but if they was in Utah playing alongside Mitchell, yeah, it'll probably be the same around the backcourt, but I feel like Utah just has a better roster around them. So I think they will be able to work with that. Obviously, Joe Ingles, Royce O'Neal, obviously I mentioned Gobert, and the rest of those other guys, Mike Conley probably wouldn't even be there, to be honest. But
no,
you know what I'm saying? I think as a roster orchestrated, I think Utah is probably a better, or it's a little bit, just a little bit better than what Portland has.
And I could see that as Portland taking a Mike Conley and be like, "Hey, listen, you're going to be our Dame, but we're more focusing on CJ running their show now. Like he's going to be the team, and you kind of have a Robin Hood experience here." So I mean, I would be okay with that and get some picks. Like it's going to be picks or nothing, but. I mean, Mike Conley, I think he's 33 years old, I want to say. So, obviously.
In my opinion, if that were to happen, he would probably want to buy out. I feel like he probably would.
You think so?
Yeah. It's kind of like how the Kemba situation happened in OKC when he was traded there from Boston. He pretty much just made his way out of this. So I could possibly see that if it were to happen with Conley in Portland.
Okay. But the reason I got the Clippers at 5, I think they're going to be a solid team. I could see them actually moving up a couple spots. Excuse me. But Paul George has to be a candidate for MVP this year.
I agree.
I don't know how Leonard's going to be. Excuse me. But I do think the Clippers are a fun team to be keeping an eye on this whole year because I think they actually could be scary. Back to me going first, I think, yeah. So are we going to do all three of them or what do y'all want to do?
We can do we can do Well, nah. Well, I mean, we can't do 3 and 2 because we're gonna automatically know who's number 1. Okay, we can do all 3. Or actually, here we'll all do 3 and then we'll all do 2 and then we'll all do 1. How about that? Like just kind of go down the line.
Let me go ahead and bring this comment in. Thank you, Connie, for jumping on our YouTube channel to leave a live comment. What it is a toboggan. It got a little chilly today, and honestly, I haven't showered today. I am grunging it up big time, so instead of showing that, I put on a toboggan, okay? Leave me alone and back off. This is my basketball show, Connie. This is not my baseball show, okay? As you can see, the bat that I have autographed by our boy and not you. All right, let's see here. I mean, there's only one way to do it, and just jump right into it. So, obviously, if you've ever watched this show, you know who my number 1's going to be. So, at number 3, I have the Lakers. Number 2, I have the Nuggets. Number 1, I have the Suns. And I'll just kind of go into it a little bit. The reason I think the Lakers are at number 3, I'm not disrespecting them. I'm actually thinking they're going to rest quite a bit and not worry too much about that one spot. So, that's where I'm at on there. At 3, I think they're still fine. Nuggets, I think, are going to be the surprising team this year that actually plays good. Now, granted, every one of you all have at least the Nuggets in the top 3 with me, so I guess it won't be too surprising how they play. Let's see here. I know I feel sorry for Nick not having a professional host. Ouch. Ouch. Listen, me and Nick, we just found out that we're both Aries, so, we're vibing big time right now. Don't even come try to raid on this parade, okay?
Definitely.
All right, Nick, who you got at your 3, 2, and 1.
So for my 3, I agree. I have the Lakers, and it's not only because they're gonna have a whole lot of low managing everything. Just looking at them through the preseason, they have a lot of chemistry issues that I think I think they need to definitely get together. Because I definitely seen there were times where Russ and AD were kind of out of sync. Obviously Russ turning the ball over, even though I don't think Russ's turnovers are a big concern as of right now. But if it does carry over to the regular season, then it will be. So I'm hoping he does clean that up. But then again, I'm not really too concerned just because whenever you see Russ start out with a new team, he kind of struggles. Even with Houston, even with Wizards. But then even in the middle of the season, carrying on to the end of the season, he will catch on. So I'm hoping that will be the same result here in LA. So. Obviously, with those 3, it's funny how they call it 3-6-0, it's AD, LeBron, and Russ. So obviously, when you have those 3, you're automatically a contender, and we'll just have to see how the season goes. For number 2, I have the Suns, just because I feel like they're definitely going to be back up there in my opinion. But will they make the finals? I think that's going to be like the challenge now. Like, will they be able to get back to the finals? So I'm definitely interested to see like where they can go from last year. And then of course, number one, I have the Nuggets. A lot of people may disagree just because there's no Jamal Murray, but I feel like Michael Porter Jr. will take a big leap. They still got guys like Aaron Gordon, and I have Jokic as back-to-back MVP.
Nice. I'm excited for Boy. I want to see what he does this year. Or
Bobo.
Yeah. Ethan, let's hear yours.
At number 3, I'm probably gonna go Utah.
Okay.
Number 2, I hear what you guys are saying with LA, but I'm probably gonna have them at 1, which means Denver at 2, LA at 1. Nick, I also do have Jokic as back-to-back MVP. I just feel like no matter who the Lakers rest, they'll always have at least one of their 3 playing, no matter the game. So that should be enough for them to win enough games for the 1 seed.
And honestly, the Lakers are one of the most athletic teams right now. I mean, next to the Brooklyn. Like, if everything were to play out on paper, it would be a Laker Brooklyn finals. We know that. But I just don't think it's going to happen. I really don't. I think the Lakers are going to struggle quite a bit this year. They're like you said, the chemistry, Nick, and just who's going to do what. Like, you've got 2 guys that are into, I want to say, their 3rd season together, so that chemistry should be good. You got Westbrook, who wherever he goes, he is the man that tries to blend with someone else, and that can be a little difficult. So I do think they struggle some. I mean, honestly, you just pack it in on that defense and let them shoot from outside. Those 3 for sure, but we'll see how it goes. Honestly, we 36 minutes in, we kind of went through this real quick. We didn't get into a Ben and Bam debate here. So, I mean, you got anything else y'all want to discuss on this? Like, who we think MVP will be?
We can do that. Do like top 5 MVPs if y'all want.
Okay. Go ahead. Throwing it out there.
For now, obviously number 1, I have Jokic. I feel like he's going to definitely elevate comparing from last year to this year. And it's just so funny though, because it's like, you see like all the memes on Twitter and like everybody saying, Jokic doesn't take basketball serious like whatsoever, but he's still just out there able to dominate. So I feel like he's like very unique in a way to where he really impacts the game. And I definitely feel like he's going to definitely win the MVP again. So my number 2 pick, I am going to go with Giannis just because, honestly, in my opinion, he is the man. He is the best player in the league right now. And if you guys have seen him in the preseason, his jump shot looks way better. He's able to score off the dribble. I don't know if he's going to be able to do this in the regular season because here's the thing. I try not to get too carried away with preseason, but if he can do this in the regular season, it's a wrap. I'm not gonna lie. Like it's gonna be scary. So Giannis at number 2. Number 3, I'll go with Joel Embiid. I'll go with Joel. I feel like obviously we don't know if Ben's gonna play or not, but if he does it, I feel like Embiid will have a chip on his shoulder. He averaged around like 29 and 11 last year. I feel like he will average those same numbers this year. And I feel like there's going to be a lot of weight on his shoulders to really put Philly in a position to be a playoff team. So Embiid is going to have another strong year. Number 4, I will have KD, and number 4 just because I feel like KD is going to have another strong year. I feel like he has a lot to prove, and we'll just see where Brooklyn goes from there. And then number 5, who can I pick as number 5? I'll go with.
How are you not going to say it?
Who you want to say, Steph?
Yeah.
I'll go with Steph on that one. I was trying to debate like who deserves it more, like Steph or AD, but I'll go with Steph. I feel like Steph is gonna have another strong year.
Oh yeah, I agree. Now is that going 1 through 5 for you?
1 through 5.
Okay. Well, look at you. Respect, man. Now we're doing your own order. I love it.
Definitely.
I'm actually going to say my number 1 is going to be Embiid because he is getting rid of his guy, Ben, and he is the team, and he has to ball out this year. I do think last year was stolen from him, not in a bad way, like Joker didn't deserve it, but because of his injury. So I'm going to say Embiid's going to come back this year, repeat, and actually play well. My number 2, I'm going to say is Steph.
2? Okay.
Take me if you want.
Hey, listen, I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad.
Well, like you said earlier, wow, I see his face. Thompson, may be back in January. So, I mean, we're starting the season next week. It's October, November, December, 3 months. That is nothing but Steph, and we know that. Steph's team last year, Golden State, was battling to get into the play-in game, and Steph was in the MVP talk just because of how he played. So he has to be number 2. He's still going to continue to do that. Number 3, I'm actually going to go with – let me think. Who do I want to go with? I'm going to go with Luka because I want to see this team do good.
Okay.
And I feel like one thing, the NBA, if I said MVP, NBA has a thing where Luka's always going to get seen on this anyways. So I'm going to put him up there. And then looking at this list, I don't even have Joker. Whoa, hold up. Let me put Joker. I'm going to switch them.
How do you forget the reigning MVP?
Joker is at 3, Luka at 4. Let me switch that. And then my 5th, I'm going to say Kevin Durant because someone's not going to be playing on that team, and he has to be the guy.
He still has another guy, though.
I mean, but still, if you got Kevin Durant on your team,
that's true.
He's the guy. Ethan, you got any one you want to say on here?
I'm going to go Jokic 1, Steph 2, Luka 3, PG 13 4, and then I don't want to, I'll say Kevin at 5 because I don't want to have the Philadelphia guy in my top 5.
I find it crazy how the Warriors fan on here doesn't have Steph too high on his MVP list. It's kind of crazy.
Mm-hmm.
But I mean, I feel like the only reason why is because obviously with Clay being out, I feel like the Warriors will kind of be like up and down, like to the beginning of the season. I mean, they'll still be up there, like as far as like playoff contention, but I feel like they're definitely gonna have this struggle. So I think it'll really good. Oh yeah, definitely without question. So I feel like once Clay officially comes back and he's 100% and really engaged, then you can possibly make an argument, especially as the Warriors begin to catch a flow. But I feel like at the beginning of the year they're going to start out just a little cold or just a little bit up and down.
I agree.
Hey Nick, since you're a Warriors fan, how do you feel about Kuminga and how do you think he's going to do as a rookie?
I like him a lot, honestly, and I've been saying this for a while. Like, if we run a small ball, he can run a small ball 5 because I feel like I think I feel like an underrated part of his game is that he's an actual really good rim protector. Honestly, I feel like a lot of people missed that during the G League season, and I feel like considering Wiseman, I don't know when Wiseman will come back, so I'm hoping Steve Kerr runs a little bit more small ball. But if they do, I feel like Kuminga will definitely be good at that 5 position. But besides that, I like Kuminga on the team. He brings a lot of versatility to the game. I feel like he'll be able to complement guys like Steph and Clay very well. Mm-hmm. So I'm definitely looking forward to him having a good year. I don't know about Rookie of the Year, but if he can produce in a good way for us, then he'll definitely get the minutes.
Oh yeah. I will say this, guys. I want to put this on recording. I did take off Kevin Durant and put Paul George because I was saying earlier I think Paul George has to play at that if the Clippers go where they are. So I forgot Paul George. Ethan, you saying him. I marked off KD and put Paul George. Not that I don't think Kevin Durant's the most valuable player because if I was to start a draft right now and pick, I would pick KD first.
Really?
Oh, absolutely. 7 foot, can handle the ball like a point guard and score on anyone like that.
Out of everybody on this list, is by far Kevin Durant's the best player.
Right.
By far. Right. So I'm not mad at that.
Thank you. I appreciate that. All right.
So I also want to ask y'all, like, because I think both of y'all had Luka on your list though. Like my thing is I'm not saying that Luka's not gonna have a good year, but I just feel like I just don't know what Dallas is really gonna do. Because my thing is when it comes to the MVP, like your team also has to be really good as well, or at least have to be like have a little bit of success. So I'm not saying that Luka, like numbers wise, Luka's gonna have a good year, but my thing is, I think it's going to take those other guys around him to really help him, like, solidify his case to be an MVP candidate. So, like, we're going to need guys like Porzingis to step up. We're going to need Frank Ntilikina, Tim Hardaway Jr., Dorian Finney-Smith, Lexi Kleber, like, the rest of these guys to really step up.
Ben Simmons.
Ben Simmons as well, if he lands there.
As of right now, for Dallas, I feel like it's fair to say that Jalen Brunson is the second best player on that Mavericks team.
I'll say him or Tim Hardaway Jr. just because Tim Hardaway Jr. was actually he was actually the one that stepped up last year when Luka needed him against the Clippers. Because I even mentioned this before, like Luka just about single-handedly almost beat Clippers by himself. Like he wasn't really getting a lot of production, and the guy besides him that was really playing well was Tim Hardaway Jr.
My thing with Luka is too many people have said that he's probably one of the hardest people that they've guarded in the league now. He's going to probably average close to a triple-double, which Westbrook has done that. He's not been the MVP. But we all three actually have the Mavs at 7, and I think we would all agree that this team could be higher than that. Like, that's not their ceiling at 7. Like,
yeah, of course
if
not.
Porzingis
That's
is good.
almost their floor.
Yeah, like, we could see them being in the top 4 or 5, I'll say. So it all depends on how Porzingis plays, which is weird that we're talking about an MVP, and it depends on how his co-partner play. But I'll back up and at least say this. I don't think how well your team does should say if you're the most valuable player. I think Anthony Davis should win it 2 or 3, well, I'll say 1 or 2 years when he was with the Pelicans. Because the most valuable player in my eye, if you take that player off that team, how good are they? Then that means that's how valuable that guy is to them. So that's how I've always felt like that. If Anthony Davis wasn't a Pelican, they wouldn't have made the playoffs back when Cousins was there in that whole year. I want to say it was 2016, maybe 17. So I can't say that I put too much on how good your team is doing on that, but I do think it helps a little bit. Like you don't want a Rocket player from last year making MVP. Let's just be honest. So I like Luka. I think he's a great ball player. He looks like he goes in slow motion, and then he's still scores.
I'm hoping that Luka comes into the season a possible – I wouldn't say a better jump shooter, but, like, you know, at least better at his shot selections because, I mean, there's many times on the occasion where Luka would just throw up shots, and I'm just like, yo, like, what in the world are you thinking? We obviously know how dangerous he can be on the floor, but obviously, you know, his offense takes him to another level. So I'm just hoping that he can find a little bit more of an efficiency going into this year.
I think with Kevin Durant, about said Kidd is what I wanted to say. Jason Kidd as his coach. I think that actually some of his assist percentage is going to go up this year. I'm not going to say about like 10 or 15, but I do think he's going to say, hey, you shot that there. It went in. That's great. We want you to shoot a percentage of shots. But in some cases, to have an opener shot for yourself down the road in the fourth quarter, you're going to have to make that pass right there so they don't just triple team you off of a pick and roll. And I think he's going to have to buy into that. Because, I mean, even what we were seeing at the end of the year, like Porzingis was open on many shots off of a pick and fade, and Luka was taking himself because he didn't want to pass the ball. You've got Kidd on your team. Like, you're going to hear pass that ball. You have to. And I don't care what language he says it in, you're going to be hearing that.
Shoot, not if ain't nobody making no shots. Shoot, I'm not passing the ball.
And, you know, in my career, that's what I did. And I know you see how swole I am now, but I ran point guard. And there was one guy on my team in high school that I would bounce it off his head at least one time every game. And you would think by then he would know, hey, I'm going to be passing the ball. Have your hands up. Like there's a lot of times I would be told as coaches, like, know who you're passing to, know your team, you know, like don't throw it to them because you don't want them to shoot. In my mind, I always thought, well, if he's that bad, don't have him on the floor with me. You know, like if they're not that good and you don't want me passing to them, get me someone who I can pass it to. You know, as far as the NBA, like if that's the play you're running, that's where they're going to be. You don't want them shooting it. Give me a better shooter. Like, I mean, didn't JJ Redick just retire?
Yep, he did.
I mean, you might be a nice person to talk into coming back out. Like, hey, okay, you retired. Come over here, be a shooter for us.
I don't know why he didn't want to be in Dallas. Like, I feel like he would have been huge in Dallas.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. Like, I guess I don't know what happened, but he just did not want to play there for some reason. So, golly, like just having like, you know, a guy like JJ Redick or like on the wing or on the corner, you know, basically like, you know, waiting for a shot whenever Luke is penetrating. Absolutely. I feel like that would have been that would have been so great for Dallas. Oh my God.
I can see it right now. I have JJ in the corner 3. With the strong side, Luka coming to the towards the free throw on a pick and roll. If the big man doubles, his wing guy that's on JJ Redick has to come down to the block to pick up Porzingis. JJ sprints up towards top of the key, wide open 3 all day long. It's either going to be a pass to Porzingis, kick out for JJ for a 3, or Luka does his thing. Like that is just a perfect isolation pick and roll setup right there. Obviously, you can't have an isolation and pick and roll together, but you know what I'm trying to say. Like, that would be perfect instantly. And I'm a couch potato coach over here. Like, why would you not be running something like that? Go Dallas. Go Dallas.
Go Dallas. Go Dallas. Go Dallas. I love Luka, man. Luka's going to be a great player. In my opinion, I think Luka wins at least 5 MVPs when his career is all said and done.
Oh, really?
But that's just my opinion. Like, you know what I'm saying? So, Luka's definitely one of those generational talent players who.
Does he win those in Dallas?
I hope so. Me personally, like, I'm hoping that Dallas finds a way to keep him happy because I don't know. I feel like these first few years, like they haven't really done enough. Like, I mean, I get it. The first year they were really orchestrated around Dirk because that was Dirk's last year in the league. So right. I definitely understand that. But then again, like, what I'm saying, year two, they did do what they could. They ended up trading for Porzingis and everything. But obviously we see how that's really panning out right now. But my thing is, like, Luka has shown that, like, he can really lead a team whenever like you actually have like really good guys around him, like, surrounding him. Because I keep saying it, like he almost single-handedly beat the Clippers with Kawhi, Paul George, and the rest of these guys. So just imagine exactly. So just imagine if he actually had a team, like an actual team, like, with great players, like great overall players, like Luka will probably be in the conference finals if we're gonna be honest. So it's really just all about what the front office can do.
Oh yeah, you got an opinion on the Mavericks or anything?
I'm just trying to think of potential trade pieces that could help out Luka because Porzingis wants out. He wants to be that guy. He'll never be that guy at this point in his career. We've seen what's been happening ever since New York. Unless he can get a Houston Rockets type team, I don't think he'll ever be that guy. Again, he'll have to be on a completely rebuilding team. So I'm thinking. Maybe Beal, potentially.
Beal doesn't want out of Washington either.
Beal doesn't want out. Yeah. I feel like Luka and Beal would be interesting. You got to make Luka run the point, Beal run the two, and then my guess is that package would include Brunson, Porzingis, and picks.
Honestly, considering the type of season that Russ and Beal just had, a Luka-Beal pairing probably would work. Mm-hmm. Especially when you have Luka basically running the show, being the point guard and everything, and then all you do is just, have just kick the ball out to Bradley Beal and let him go to work. I feel like that'll work.
Mm-hmm.
All we need is Beal to want out.
Yeah.
I want to see Kevin Love go somewhere. Like, where does he need to go? Like, he needs to buy out, take a lesser.
He's not going nowhere. He's not giving up that money. I think he basically just wants to sit the rest of his career. I don't think he really cares.
Do we even think he was really hurt last year? I mean, do we really think he was hurt?
Yeah.
I have no idea.
Maybe not to the extent that it was, but I definitely think there was something there.
Like, why hasn't he called up and said, hey, Ben, this is Kevin over here. Like, just fake an injury if you really don't want to play for that team, man. They'll still pay you. You'll be fine.
Just accidentally jump in front of Joel's car.
Yeah. Oh, and a lawsuit there, too. Now you could sit and get paid from Ben. All right, guys. We're about to wrap up the show, or we are wrapping it up. If you have enjoyed this, go to our patreon.com/unwrapsports and be a part of our membership that we have there. We've got 3 different tiers. We got one tier that's just $1 a month, so it's $12 for the whole year. Pretty sure you're going to buy someone that you don't even care about for Christmas a $20 gift card to Amazon. So give us $12. After that, we have the family via, I think it's Unwrapped Family, and it is $5 a month. And we appreciate that too. You get access to our Discord chat that we have going on. A lot of, again, bets goes on that. I forget about commenting in the Discord quite a bit, and I apologize. I need to focus on that and do that, stay relevant in there. But and then also we have another one that I'll bring up. We have our teespring.com/store/unwrapped, where you get a 10% discount off of all of our merchandise in there when you are a part of the family at the $5 a month. Now, the best tier is our VIP tier, Unwrapped VIP. It is $10 a month, which is not too bad. I guarantee you eat McDonald's at least once a month for like a whole year, where you not only get access to our Discord, you get access to actually interacting. The family one, you just get to see what we're chatting about, kind of get to know us that way. With the VIP tier, you actually get to interact with us, and we love to hear from you guys. Tell me that I'm stupid about thinking Ben Simmons is actually going to go to the Mavericks. I understand, but I'm seeing the future. You guys don't realize that. Also with that, what I think is great, each month we give out some type of memorabilia. We've given out a Ricky Williams miniature head. We've given out a Keenan Allen jersey. We've done David Montgomery jersey. So keep up with that, and you can see what we're giving out. I'm not for sure what we're giving out this month. I need to ask on that. It's a new fresh month. They just released in our Discords the past 2 winners. So with that, also you get 20% off of our I'll go ahead and bring that up since I'm bringing it up again. 20% off of our Teesprings/stores/unwrapped, and see all of our merch in there as well. Boom. I made it disappear and clicked it again. There we go. Okay. With that said, we've got all of our sponsorships in. We've went through our top 15. We all think that the Suns are the best team in the West. Ethan just didn't say the Suns when he meant to. He said Lakers. It's okay. It happens, The Nuggets actually is what Nick said. I don't know why, but he just was trying to make me mad and be disrespectful to my Devin Booker love. But, it's okay. Honestly, all 3 of our number 1 teams I think are good. We got the Lakers, the Nuggets, and the Suns. And with that being said, we have those 3 all in our top 3 except for Ethan with the Suns. You have Jazz, which is fine. That's my team that I think is going to flop. Nick and I both agree that the Jazz will probably fall down. You think it's going to be the Suns. One of those 2 teams I think we can agree is going to not repeat what they did last year.
Probably both, let's be honest.
Oh, yeah. It's a good chance on that. Nick, anything you want to say?
Ethan, I honestly hope that you're going for this team, but tomorrow the Chicago Sky got a chance to win the championship, so I'm rooting for them to take it all tomorrow.
Yep.
Ethan, let's go ahead and let you talk about your shows again. Do your plugs, whatever you want to, as we sign off here.
Follow ATR Madness on Twitter. We're almost at 100, and then once we get 1,000 on Insta at _Creating Madness, we are giving away edition of a Michael Jordan and I believe that's Sam Perkins UNC jerseys in their Sports Illustrated cover. Yeah, so get us to 1,000 on Insta or Twitter, whichever one's easier.
Do you see that right now? Like I see you looking at it. I want to go ahead and get my eyes on this because old Dad is getting into some memorabilia stuff. Oh, that is kind of sweet. I like that.
Yeah. Get me to 1K followers on either of Creating Madness's social media. We'll be doing a giveaway.
Awesome. Sorry, got a gnat flying around here. Nick, go ahead and do some of your plugs that you got.
Definitely follow me on Twitter at NickAndreATR. I am very active in the basketball community, whether it's NBA Twitter, WNBA Twitter. I don't know if NCAA basketball actually has like a little Twitter hashtag or whatever, or that people are involved in, but I'll definitely be in that if that is a thing. And also check out my link tree in my bio. You will find everything. Oh, I just updated it today, so you will find everything from podcasts, articles, basically everything Nick Andre. So make sure to check that out.
Awesome. And again, I am MD Lawson 0. That's who I am, MD Lawson 0. My name's Michael. MD Lawson 00 is where my Twitter, my TikTok, my Instagram. That's everything basically. That it's even my Hotmail, and I get made fun of because I'm so old and I use Hotmail. Ethan, you probably don't even know what Hotmail is, but
I haven't heard of Hotmail since like 2007.
Listen, I was in, I want to say 8th grade, 7th or 8th grade. We had to take computer class, and it was 2000, I think. So it was 8th grade, and I created it. And you know what? I've been true to it. I have a Gmail account. I've got Yahoo's and all that stuff, but I'm like, you know what?
Do people still use Yahoo as well?
Yeah.
For like fantasy.
Oh, people still do? Okay.
Yeah.
People still use Yahoo for like their spam email.
And OGs use Hotmail. Just throwing that out there. So this is your OG Hotmail.
People use Gmail or iCloud.
I mean, come on. That's, some of y'all can follow what they tell you to do. I'm sticking with my Hotmail, okay? Back off. But with that being said, obviously we have Count the Bucket every Saturday night, 10:30 or a little bit later, depends on when our Bets Unwrapped get done. I also co-host a baseball show with my host was in here earlier, who's totally unprofessional.
Connie!
It is Backstop Banter Thursday nights at 10 p.m. And I'm actually going to try to turn this into our very first podcast. So wherever you have or listen to your own podcast, you can now find Count the Bucket. So if you're listening to this, go straight to this now or go to your podcast now and like, subscribe, rate. I guess there's not a like, it's a rate. See, I'm old. I'm getting there, though. But subscribe to us, and let's get this thing rolling. But until next week, you guys have a good one.
Deuces.